The Oppression Olympics are in town, and someone's acting like they're your victim. We have Damsel, waiting for a knight to provide for you, Seduction by Romantic Illusion, and Scribe, altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. And these actually came out in the upright, in the light attribute, but in betwixt was this, these are the, like, make your own cards in this deck. So you can make your own archetypes, characters, things like that. And it came out in the shadow position. So the way I'm reading that is that they're presenting like they're in the light, but they're actually in their shadow. And they know it. It's a conscious effort to try and influence, maybe not like the general public, could be, I guess, but whatever group that you two are a part of, influence their opinion about you. Could be a smear campaign, reputational damage, things like that. But it's very sneaky, underhanded, because altering facts and plagiarizing others' work, that's not an accident. That's not something like, oops, I didn't mean to copy their ideas and not give them credit. Yeah, you did. Like, that's very clear. And same for the damsel. Like, just waiting for a knight to come rescue you. It's kind of like the opposite of, what's her bucket? From Shrek. Fiona. It's like the opposite of her. But I'm just gathering from this that there's some sort of conflict, and they can't be upfront. Can't be an upfront strategy. So we'll start getting some more cards out, kind of explore this a little bit more. Because I wanted to get into like the profile, I suppose, of whomever has been trying to prevent this transformation, because it keeps coming up as a recurring theme in the reading. So I'm like, okay, we'll give him the mic. Let's see what's going on. And speaking of mics, I am aware that my mute button seems to have retired to the other side. Got a new microphone on the way, so I appreciate your patience. If there's any coughing, anything like that. I live in a fairly dry environment, which makes it difficult to recover from sicknesses. And on the dice roll, I got 4th house, Neptune, and Libra. So more of that tension of opposites. As Neptune is in Aries right now, and Libra is the sister sign to Aries. So it could be illusions around justice, themes like that, equality, balance. And 4th house is family, roots, ancestry, so potentially more of that dispute over inheritance. There's some sort of competition. Is it like sibling rivalry, right as that clock chimes? And I forgot how this deck shuffles. Might need to just cut it. Oh, never mind. It heard me. And we have Artemis and Apollo. The Champion and the Idol. And I don't think it was Apollo that burst in on Artemis and her nymphs when they were bathing, and then she turned him into a stag. Can't remember who that was. Maybe Orion? But Apollo... Delphi is coming to mind. Apollo oversees the Temple of Delphi, the oracles of Delphi, during the warmest months of the year. And then Dionysus takes over for the darker months, but it's an uneven split. So it's unbalanced. It's like 9 and 3, something like that. So the champion and the idol. Maybe are they trying to say that these are your shadow attributes? Like you're ruthless, a huntress. And Apollo, as with many other Greek gods, figures, and such, has a fairly sordid history when it comes to women. And maybe it's trying to highlight some sort of something that was trying to be hidden. Gonna have to explore that a little bit more. Because the idol... Oh, maybe they're saying, like, you're a narcissist or something. You've been putting in maybe the work that would make you the champion, like legitimately, which takes a lot of discipline and a lot of self-centered focus. It's not a bad thing. If you want to accomplish a goal, you're going to have to do the thing. But it's getting twisted into a different, like altering the facts, something like that. There's also that aspect of plagiarizing. They try to plagiarize you and couldn't. So they couldn't beat you. Or they knew they couldn't beat you, maybe. Tried to lie, cheat, steal, and those didn't work either, so now you're a narcissist. It's like somebody that just doesn't know how to take accountability, doesn't know how to take defeat. And I posted that A Fool's Parade song today from Within Temptation. It's very fitting for that. But tell me more about the damsel and the scribe. Oh, death, Thanatos, and 9 of coins, Plutus. A change to their independence. And I'm trying to read that facial expression. Just so meh. Like people are handing coins over and it's like, cornucopia, like whatever, wealth. Somebody who didn't appreciate what they had and is now losing it as a result of this conflict with you, but then turning around and calling you a narcissist or something because you stood up for yourself, because you didn't just bow down and kiss their feet or whatever. Like, why would you? Especially if this is someone who's trying to prevent a transformation, you've probably picked up at a minimum, like, on the vibe. And Thanatos, both the embodiment of and a place, but prison, where the Titans were kept. a prison specifically made for that type of power. So they couldn't imprison you by preventing your transformation. So now they're imprisoned and losing wealth. Maybe there is some sort of like actual imprisonment. Because I don't know. I guess it would depend on what was either what facts were altered, or because I don't think plagiarizing work is an imprisonable offense. That might be what's happening to their material independence. It's like there's still fines and stuff for that sort of thing, I imagine. But Thanatos is an actual prison. He actually has kind of a surprised, kind of reminding me in like anime or comics, the little lines they'll put around their face, they're like surprise lines. Like as if they were exclamation points around him. But what about Artemis and Apollo? I think this is them up top, and then you at the bottom here. Maybe. Are they siblings? Artemis and Apollo? I think they are. And this is the Lore Olympus deck, which I think is a comic. Lots of maybes. Five of Wands in reverse and Page of Swords. Who is that? Zelus? I don't recognize that name. But, unfriendly competition, maybe? Because, like, why would you compete in a friendly manner with someone who was, like, stealing your work or lying about you? And maybe just because they don't feel like doing the work themselves? You know, the damsel in distress? The wanting the rewards but not doing the work. The work is required for the rewards, generally. And then Erebus as the Page of Swords. Who is he? He's one of the proto-Genoi, the primordial gods. Darkness. He's darkness. Different than Nyx, who is night. But I think I can't remember what their relation to each other is. And the Page of Swords, that's the spy card. And yeah, there's an implication in the spy, like, collecting information and whatnot. But I'm also thinking of just espionage in general, I guess. That it requires cleverness and cunning and thinking on your feet. And if these two are siblings, maybe like flipping between personas, which would be pretty taxing after a while. I don't know how long people typically stay in those situations. I think I've watched probably an Andrew Bustamante video where he said like the typical duration of time that somebody would be like undercover or whatever, but I can't remember. So what? Because that sort of like cunning cleverness, crazy like a fox, to try and protect oneself from this kind of manipulation. But it's like, that's what's being said is the problem. It's like, you standing up for yourself, doing whatever you had to do to protect your own interests. It's like, how dare you? How dare you not just let me abuse you because I am completely entitled to do that? No. Like, it does feel pretty twisted in terms of logic. Like, it brings me back to, like, the Salem witch trials examples, that it was a land grab. They were going after women in the community who weren't under the control of men. And there are still people today who think they're doing something good in the community if they oppress women. But they know well enough to not say those things out loud. It's like, one of these things is not like the other. And then they start acting like the victims. It's like, oh, the woke mind virus and all this stuff. Like, okay, yeah, I guess, if that's how you want to characterize it, and if you have a problem with people being treated like people, then, you know, your consequences are your own. Are you really expecting people to feel bad for you? And the answer to that question is probably yes. Because they feel right in doing that. In, quote unquote, protecting the children. When's the last time you did anything to protect a child? Anything that actually results in that outcome? Like, come on. So what's the crux of what is requiring this cleverness? Like, why the need to be crazy like a fox? Monk or nun? But in the shadow, negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety. Okay, yeah, just continuing on with that example. It's like someone or someones that have outdated views on whatever the topic at hand is, you know, that theme of prejudice that has been coming up. Trying to keep LGBT community from getting married, or keep women out of positions of power because women are too emotional. Apparently they've never met men. Let's be real. But what about this monk/nun? I feel like preaching the dangers of affirmative action or something in the church. Or there's another thought trying to come together. It's like half-truths. It'd be like using an institution like a church or government, politics, things like that, for power while having different intentions on the undercurrent. Like in the Salem witch trials example. It'd be like protecting the community from the threat of witchcraft, when really they just couldn't compete with their businesses. Or there was the neighborhood dispute with the Putnams at the beginning of all this. It's that sort of thing. Poseidon, which certainly some questionable myths with him. Medusa's coming to mind. And Psyche. We got the reveler. And the resistant ingenue? I don't know what that is. So reveling. And psyche. Trying to think. There was a... It was Psyche and Eros. Cupid, Aphrodite's son. There was a poison arrow intended for her. But either it nicked Cupid or it nicked... I can't remember. But she didn't get hit with the poison arrow, I don't think. It was like instant backfire, instant backlash. As soon as that arrow was loosed, it was like, nope, like we have enough information on what your true intent is. You tried to do harm. And Poseidon comes up a lot with Medusa. She got demonized for his actions. And there's a lot of different interpretations of, like it gets rebranded as Medusa's gaze was an antidote to the male gaze, which is an interesting interpretation too. With that excess piety, it's like knowing that she, as a priestess, if she ends up violated, she can't serve her functions as priestess. She can't be holy. It's like what's done is done. Intending to do reputational harm to her. And I don't think he never got backlash for that. Poseidon didn't, but either Cupid or whomever went to Cupid did. Is there like a power hierarchy to this? So, I mean, if it does involve like a church or some sort of government institution, then yeah, there's hierarchies in those. So what else about this? Two of Wands. Again, trying to stop the transformation, trying to stop the journey. Oh boy, can I pronounce this? Asclepius? I don't think that's right. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. But the Two of Wands, that's like preparing for a journey. And I thought I turned on my light. So interfering with that transformation still. But that's what all this was for. Using an institution to prevent transformation, that could definitely result in some prison time, because that's... Isn't that like a conspiracy? Was that like civil conspiracy, something like that? I don't know. I don't know what the term is. What else about this Two of Wands? Justice. Themis. And the Justice card isn't typically blindfolded in most decks. Justice is blind. So the Justice, and right as that clock chimes, justice system, whomever the objective party is in this, not seeing or being able to see through the manipulation. It'd be like switching judges or something, but to one that's actually neutral. Or even I could see a gender difference in that as well. Not to say male judges can't be objective, but they might not have the same worldview to see things, how things affect women, that a female judge would. It's like different life experience, different experience being systemically oppressed, working within a system that systemically oppresses women. It's got a lot more experience with that, better suited to try the case, actually. But maybe that's where things started to go wrong. Whatever's being done that was like relied on or expected for institutional harm, it's like the pieces they were expecting weren't there. So you'd have to be pretty cunning if you're going up against people that have, persons or people that have the backing of an institution, whereas one or two people don't. So they have to move a lot more carefully to protect themselves, which, that's like a here's your sign. How are these people, like, why are they having to move like they work in the CIA just to get through the day? Like, these are civilians. This is excessive. They shouldn't have to be living like this. Like, what the heck is going on? So what about this justice? We're kind of doubling up on that Libra theme. Libra looking through the illusions. And it's like sensing through. Because the mask is what you see. What's in the spaces, what's in the in-between, what's not being said. Oh, hey. The High Priestess. There's a synchronicity. Wow. Persephone. The High Priestess doesn't need to see. But she's not blindfolded. She's the one who isn't blindfolded. She's eyes wide open. And maybe the High Priestess, somehow, whoever that is, she's lending her sight to justice. Because the High Priestess, the unseen is her domain. That's where she lives. That's where she works. She knows it like the back of her hand. Everybody else who might regard the High Priestess, the oracles of Delphi, as kind of strange and weird and whatnot, gonna be pretty happy when it all finally clicks that, all those seemingly unrelated things that the High Priestess was saying, crazy like a fox, there was method to her madness. We just didn't trust her. And that is kind of par for the course, I think, particularly in the modern era, for the High Priestess. Somebody's going to call you crazy. If you do any sort of spiritual work, especially online, anything like that, there will inevitably be the comment section, bots, things like that, saying you're crazy, go get help, go get pills, go get like this, and that, simply because you see the world a different way. Or what oftentimes happens to women is that we're picking up on the patterns, we are picking up on the behaviors and whatnot, or we're experiencing abuse and telling people about it, and they're like, well, I don't see it. They've always been nice to me. Yeah, maybe they're not abusing you. Like, why is that so hard? I don't quite understand. I've been seeing a lot more posts all of a sudden pop up, and it actually kind of looks like her. But Amber Heard, I don't know if the review was just reviewed by people, but it's like domestic violence experts around the globe have reviewed the transcripts from both the US and the UK trial and are like, yeah, she's showing signs of being abused. She's showing signs of being the victim. It's very, very clear. Meanwhile, the whole online discourse was that she's obviously guilty. She's obviously the aggressor. How many women go through that? And it's still terrible, obviously, what happened to her, and being chased out of this country, essentially, as I think she's over in the UK now, and definitely not getting the same amount of work, but she had money to work with. There are scores and scores of women who don't have that, who don't have those resources to work with, who don't get believed, who lose so many resources to the strong arm, the legal system acting as strong arm for abusers. It's a rough situation. So what where's the High Priestess leading this? Because that's a very indirect role. Even like the Oracle from the Matrix, like, she wasn't completely straight up. There's things that the people that seek her, they need to figure this out for themselves. Like hints and stuff, yeah, okay. Oh, that's many. Go to the bottom one. Athlete in the shadow. Misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends. False sense of invulnerability and entitlement. It's very Olympian. So that's where she's leading it. Maybe that's what she's trying to get people to see. Because in the case of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, he had all the power. He had the power, the money, the reputation, the experience. And I think there was a pretty massive age gap between them. I think almost twice what I consider like the max relatability gap. Because I think it's about 15 years. Anything beyond that, it's really hard to relate to somebody. I think it was closer to like 30. And when you're a big time celebrity, I'm sure there's a sense of invulnerability and entitlement. No matter how nice you are, that shadow is going to express itself in some way. how quickly one might get a hold of that and like, oop, nope, that's not who I want to be. You know, that's dependent on the person, because being around all that money and people who want to sleep with you and like all this stuff, of course there's going to be temptation and giving into it. But you might wake up in the cold light of day the next morning and then realize, yeah, this is not who I want to be. I want to pursue my craft. I want to be true to who I am and not true to the lifestyle that it takes so many people down. But what about this athlete? Misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends. So maybe a misappropriation of whatever institution that they're a part of. Like if they're part of a church or something. Maybe it's like a mega church that they close their doors during a winter storm or whatnot, as compared to the small time priests, pastors, and such who do open their doors and then face retribution from the city because they're not coded or whatever for being a shelter. Meanwhile, how many years does it take to update like city codes and permits and things like that, when weather events, they're historical on like a weekly basis? They're stepping up and filling a gap that if the mega churches would do that, they could afford a lawyer to actually make a case against the city or whomever and go, this is wrong. Yes, we broke the rules because your policy is wrong. They can use their institutional power for good. Because if they're not getting results by doing things the right way, they might have to be a little more cunning. Play the game a little bit. But it's like the more and more and more power and money and things that are amassed, it's like the less, I don't know, throwing it down on the table, if you catch my drift. Like, I didn't amass all these resources to just take care of me. Yes, I need to put on my oxygen mask first, because who knows how long it's been since you've had access to an oxygen mask. But once you've got your feet under you, if you've got power and influence, like, push the envelope a little bit. Like, what good is all that power and influence for if you're not taking some risks? And hopefully risks that are in the interests of the greater good, because not everybody has a good heart who has all that money. They might be taking risks, like, for their buddies, so that people they like and who are like them can gain power over all the pores, all of the shoulders on which they stand for their success. But that's what pisses me off about the mega churches. Like, you have so many resources. Like, you could really go to bat for the marginalized, for the disenfranchised. And it's just like hoarding it like a dragon. I know there are some passages about that. Guarantee it. What about this athlete? What does the High Priestess want everybody to see? Hubris? Okay. That feels like holding up a piece of paper in somebody's face. Like, do you see? Do you see? Where are Icarus's Wings, they're on the ground where he is because he fell down. Little duck. That must be pertinent to the comment. To the comic, not comment. Because I don't get that one. But it looks like he's looking back. Behind him. Or her. Or them. Blue Underworld Lodge 199. Reading the little username. And their little ads too. Let's chat now. Flower nymphs. That's funny. What does it say? So I'm kind of getting the impression more of that persona aspect, like something like a mask being projected, anonymity on the internet, like the comment section, bots and whatnot. I think that's the Omega symbol up here, which is often on various justice cards that I've seen. The Alpha, the Omega. The winner, the loser. Sorry. Really trying to project this image, but meanwhile they're behind the scenes. This kind of looks like they're about to bid on a pair of panties, which I'm not here to shame anybody about what they're into, and certainly not, hey, if you're looking to make a quick buck and you're fine with selling your used things, whatever. Far be it from me to tell you otherwise. People have the agency to spend their money on what they want, but what if this is some sort of scandal, like using the church tax exempt credit card, whatever, to bid on like online stuff for your own personal interests, or to chat with flower nymphs. So maybe that's where the High Priestess is trying to lead people, that this inflated sense of self, or whatever power that they have amassed, whether it's like a pastor, an athlete, whatever, they feel entitled basically to act like a celebrity, and like a celebrity who's in their shadow. Because I think there's kind of a fun aspect to all that money, like, oh, there's freedom. I can buy stuff I want. I don't have to justify things, and things that were completely out of the realm of possibility for me are now, like, at my whim. But then it can become distorted. Like, I don't know, a celebrity stealing. Like, for why? You have all that money. 6 of coins. In reverse. Okay. Unequal give and take. Thea? And she's got, like, double eyes. There's a makeup artist that I follow on Instagram that she does, like, illusion makeup. It makes me think of that. Unequal give and take. I think that's beyond taking something that they're not supposed to. Could be... There's a lot of celebrity examples coming up. Those Meta glasses. Kylie Jenner. I just saw, like, the ads and stuff for that, and then the criticisms and such. But I think she's got, like, multiple lawsuits against her from employees for treatment of employees. I don't understand. Having that much money, you could choose to treat people well. You could choose to be a safe refuge for people that otherwise don't have one, that in, like, the food industry, retail and whatnot, in just the general grind, there's no safe harbor. And how many of them, whether they're telling the truth or not, I don't know, but there are some that they did come up on their own, from being waiters, from other more, like, pedestrian pursuits. Maybe they have a healthier respect for treating their people well, because there's a whole team of people behind celebrities that keep them functioning, keep them the poster child of whomever they have contracts with, whatever brands. They could treat them well, and they're not. Whomever the damsel scribe is. It's like they have the option to be treating people well, and they're not. And they're also doing something in the background that benefits them. Like, it gets them their shadow desires or whatever. We've got 6 of Cups in reverse and 5 of Coins. And 6 of Cups in reverse, that can be present time. Mnemosyne? And Penia. I don't recognize either of them. So poverty. Are they broke? But nobody knows or something? And maybe that's why they're misusing resources? Because 6 of Cups, that can also be a card of children, which to me is like innocence. So it's not... They're not unaware of what they're doing. Like, they know. Maybe that's part of the hubris. Like, they thought they could just continuously, like, keep this up. Maybe there was some sort of expectation, like, oh, I'm this athlete, celebrity, whatever, that everybody loves. I'll be able to make a comeback, so it doesn't matter if I steal from Peter to pay Paul. That sort of deal. Like, I keep seeing a lot of GoFundMes and stuff from various celebrities. Which one has me just concerned for the economy in general? Like, it's astonishing to me that they would need help with finances, but the world's kind of astonishingly expensive right now. And $1 million doesn't get you what it used to. And maybe there's some bad investments in business. Excess partying, excess consumption. back to the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I think I heard something. I don't know if it was part of that trial or not. But he like lost it on his accountant, like thought his accountant was stealing from him, but he was spending like a crazy amount of money on expensive wines or something. And that is what like burned through his cash. I'm sure there were more things going on, but I don't know. I just find it funny because I've seen some of those like blind taste tests with sommeliers that like they can't tell the difference between an expensive wine and what was the one that I used to get? Like the cupcake wines. It's been a while since I've drank, but I didn't mind the like $10 bottle of wine because I'm literally like, it's gonna run through me eventually. I don't know. I'm pretty practical, so maybe that's just me. Not that nice things wouldn't be nice, but I don't know. Different folks, I guess. And it's bringing like financial ruin, this behavior of theirs, the stealing from Peter to pay Paul. Man, is this like the proverbial accountant filed some sort of report because they would have been tied to, I don't know, cooking the books or something, had they not reported it? Like they had some sort of on-the-job ethical obligation to report something, and now this person is mad that they did their job, and they're trying to slander them, change people's opinion about them, steal their work, steal their files, maybe literally, I don't know. So, it's confusing energy, and maybe there is something grandiose going on. All these celebrity examples, and like Greek myths tend to be dramatic, and you know, there's a lot just there in terms of layers, like actors and such. So how do we get to the truth of the matter? Because the High Priestess seems to know what's going on, and maybe nobody believes her. How do we illuminate, or how will this get illuminated to bring the truth to the surface? How does the truth set you free? King. Oh, it's like the opposite of the beginning. Because it's king, but now we've got the blank card in the light attribute. So, somebody presenting like a shadow king, but they're actually in the light. So they're presenting like... Oh, excuse me. Ugh, gross. Excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. So they're presenting like a tyrant. But in the light, they're enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. Is this like the espionage? The crazy like a fox? Somebody pretending to be like them when they're not. And maybe this is somebody higher up, because this is the king. And scribes, and certainly damsels as well, but scribes could get close to the king, but they're not the king. And it would take a king or high authority or something like that to imprison a titan. Because this person may have a lot of power. They might have a lot of influence. Doesn't mean they're using it for good, and that's the impression I'm under, that they're very much not. It'd be like, I'm gonna go back to Poseidon. Right as at clock chimes. Because Athena didn't take on Poseidon, but what if, I don't know, Zeus had got wind of what happened to Medusa and was like, oh, absolutely not. Like, you don't get to treat a priestess like that. You don't get to treat somebody who's pious as if they're not, and then just, like, demonize them, villainize them for what you did. And then Zeus steps in. That'd be a battle royale, for sure. Or it could even be Hades. Because this is Persephone. This is his wife, who he kidnapped. I have some issues with that. But that underworld energy, more covert, more the darkness. So what about this king? Who seems pretty clever. So the high priestess also would be another person who could get close to the king. So maybe starting to see things her way. Oh, there's Eros. It's got all sorts of gifts and presents. Does the king have a thing for the priestess? That's an interesting vibe. It's like somebody that maybe that's their true feelings, and maybe they can set them aside to step in. It's like the justice, the objective party. They can set aside their own sight for the greater good, for the objective outcome. And the subtext here is the devotee. And, I mean, if you were trying to do something bad, something nefarious, regardless of what it is and the potential reward, would you even consider harming a hair on Persephone's head, knowing who her husband is? Knowing that, like, Hades will be coming for you. I wouldn't. No way, no how. Oh, and it kind of looked like wine, but it looks like maybe coffee. Or boba. But somebody that has that big heart. It's be like the black cat golden retriever couple dynamic. So what about this king? And it doesn't even necessarily need to be a romantic interest in the high priestess. It could just be like an affinity. Almost getting like cute aggression. You know, like when something is so cute, you're like, I'm so mad. You know, it's not that it's so mad. It's just you like can't control your impulses a little bit. Just want to squeeze your cheeks. But something like that. Like sees the innocence of the high priestess and then is furious about the way she's getting treated. And has the authority to do something about it. Two of Coins. Oceanus. But it was in reverse. This is like somebody becoming unbalanced. Like unbalanced against a similar energy, because Oceanus and Poseidon. Oh, and the eyes are covered too. That's like covering their own eyes, or becoming very ruthless in terms of how they approach this damsel scribe. Like they can look past maybe even some questionable choices of their own to take this person to task. Like it's not just to cause more harm to them just because. It's to bring this like to a just end. And depending on what they did, like that fairness, that's a relative term. Who knows how bad what they did was. Because what if they've been stealing like charity funds that were supposed to go to the less fortunate, if they're part of a church or something, and they've been spending it on their own like hedonistic pursuits. Not that I personally see anything wrong with hedonism. It's just, it's your own. It should stay in your own lane. Like, know your limits. If you're stealing to feed those desires, well, you're out of balance. And harming other people for your own end. Oh, Psyche again. Queen of Wands and 10 of Wands. Both in reverse. So she's getting reinforced. I want to read... where did I put that? I want to read from the tarot for Psyche. Because I think the Psyche represented in the lore Olympus deck will be part of the comic. The most popular tale of Psyche came from Roman texts, though she had a place in Greek mythology. She was once a beautiful mortal princess who earned the ire of Aphrodite and the love of her son Eros, and she was eventually transformed after many trials into a goddess and married him. Let's see. So she overcame a bunch of trials. What's it in reverse? Oh, and they say fallen in this deck. Fallen and risen for upright and... or for reversed and upright. Even with Psyche turned from you, her power to call forward your soul is still strong. This is a calling to bring your energy and attention inward to rebuild by accessing your personal strengths and inner voice. It is a call to truly look at discovering who you are and to be courageous in expressing it. As with the hubris that called down Aphrodite's wrath on Psyche, you should reflect on whether you are being self-centered rather than self-assured. You may find you need to take some time out, as you may be wrestling with too much and headed for burnout. the Ten of Wands in reverse. The never-ending burden. So burnout, overwhelmed, low confidence. And maybe that's why the king is stepping in. Maybe the king sees this, sees how many trials that you, the high priestess, whomever, has been through trying to go up against this person. And now it's a higher authority coming in to address the imbalance, to address something. Because maybe they're the one starting to ask questions like, why are they having to conduct their lives 15 steps ahead of everybody around them? Like, this is excessive. What is going on in this environment, in this situation? And maybe even justice was blind to it. Maybe they've let this go on for a long time. And so now the king, the ultimate authority, is like, nope, we're done. We're going to tend to the high priestess, who, she's been doing her job. She's been trying to bring the unseen into the scene. The Oracle of Delphi has been speaking. She's been doing her thing, inhaling that gas, you know, giving the prophecies, and it's just like, nobody's listening. Nobody's taking it seriously. They're just dismissing her behavior as if she's crazy. As if she's disturbed. Not as if she's been getting abused this whole time. And so maybe that the aim of whomever is attempting to prevent this transformation, they're really leaning on perception. Because maybe they don't have the athletic ability, the spiritual athletic ability, to go up against the high priestess. And this actually just brought to mind the dark web. Something, I don't know, maybe something with that. I don't know if they're seeking their desires on the dark web or whatnot. But that's another one of those things, like, here's your sign. If you have to go to that many lengths to avoid being detected, why are you doing it? Sometimes there is an answer to that question, and it might be because you have found yourself in a lion's den and you're trying to escape, or it might be that somebody is trying to misappropriate funds or something. I don't know. But it's disjointed, weird vibe. Howl's Moving Castle. Always a good one. And I think I saw something about Miyazaki was really angry about something and almost didn't come to the States for an award, and then threw himself into working on this and like readapting this, because I think it's like a British novel or something, the original, what it was adapted from, maybe. So it's like directing the anger. Because if the high priestess has been put through all these trials, and it's just like trial after trial after trial, that anger is going to start to build. That's not great in a high priestess. Not only for her, but imagine like an oracle of Delphi going from oracle to like warlord, something like that, because then she, with her proximity to the king, she could mislead them. She could become distorted herself and like go into her shadow and start going dark and things like that. And if she's been put through trial after trial after trial without relief, without help, I can't say I blame her. Not that that would make any of it right, but it's kind of like, what outcome do we expect here? Because this is someone who clearly is being imprisoned, essentially. If a transformation is being prevented from happening, that means she doesn't have agency. That means she doesn't have autonomy. You know, Persephone, the underworld and whatnot, she did go dark. It definitely darkened her. So maybe that's why this king is stepping in to halt that progression. Because it's not like an expectation that, oh, she's gonna, like, she's evil or anything. No, it's just like everybody has a limit, and she's getting pushed towards hers, and we just don't want that to happen, especially in the modern era where we have all this evidence of, we can see what happens to women, that impact that it has on us when we're not believed, when we don't get the help that we need, and all that torment and torture that we're put through right in front of everybody's faces, and then they're like, well, she's crazy. She must be crazy. Not, she must be reacting to something that's happening to her, which irritates me to no end. So, some Studio Ghibli, some good, wholesome. I find those movies pretty calming, actually. Even Princess Mononoke, which is more on the intense side, it's got the beautiful score, and it's so pretty, and it's not, it won't get, what words am I looking for? It doesn't have the same impact on oneself as like Game of Thrones or Outlander or things like that. As much as I like those shows, they can be violent, they can be intense. It can be good to check out, let yourself be a kid again, you know, watch some animation if that's not something you regularly do, and let the anger cool a little bit, especially if you've been dealing with the never-ending burden. So, overall, I hope this helps. I hope this resonates, and if it doesn't, I hope the next one does. Thank you so much.